name is Outsider2522 and welcome to another Idleon video. Now in the last video I asked you for some feedback about the video format and someone come up with a very some insightful viewpoints that maybe I do too many cuts when I'm talking. So I'm going to try a different one this time. I'm going to try and do less cuts, which means more talking in a row. So if I get things wrong, I apologise. Now the topic for today's video is farming. Okay, people have been asking for World 6 guides, how these skills work. I'm going to go with farming first. The reason I'm picking farming is because it's probably the one that I find the easiest to understand. So it's something that I can explain to you quite well, I think. Okay, so before I say anything, my usual plug. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We are so close to that 1,000 subscriber mark that I was aiming for. That goal is within reach. Couldn't have done it without you guys. So you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much. Also, join the Discord, link is below. It's a great group of people. The community is growing by the day. It's fantastic to see people there. Let's talk about the skill and how this works. So, in essence, you go into World 6 and one of the first skills you're going to unlock is farming. Now, farming starts with plots. You can buy more plots for premium currency. It is in the market. This might be something that you want to consider depending on how your gems are stacked at the minute. All right. What you will then do is you will go to the compost bag and you'll have various options available to you. The first one is select seed type. Now, what this is that certain seeds will have certain produce they can make and you need to go through the seeds to unlock all of the produce. I'll explain why you might want to do that later. So there's 6 levels of seed. We've got basic, earthy, bulbo. I believe there's a sushi seed. I don't know the one for level 80 or level 120 yet. Okay, my information is limited because the wiki isn't available yet. And I'm just going off of information my guildmates share with me. You choose the bulb, you attach it to a mound of dirt, and then you wait a certain amount of time for it to grow. Okay, the starting one, if I remember rightly, is 2 hours, I think, for the very first one. So this is kind of one of those skills where you're going to click it, forget about it, come and check on it a couple of times a day. All right. The next one is collect all. What this is going to do is every single seed that's fully grown, you will collect the produce from it. Very simple. Then we move on to handyman tools. Now, there's a thing called remove seed. Why might you want to do this? Well, there are things you can buy and upgrade. There's also bubbles attached to the items that you produce. If you go above that, all right, if you upgrade a plant above what you need, the only way to go back is to remove the seed and evolve the plant again to the level you need. The next option is remove all. This does the same, but it just clears all plots. There is a plant all option. Once you choose your seed, it would put all of the plants in for you. And there is a lock option, which when you choose that will basically lock the plot. And the reason you're going to do that is, again, because of those upgrades that you need, you will need to lock plots at various points. Now, the way I do this, I'll explain in a minute. The final option is Instagrow. And what this is going to do is, if you've paid premium currency, you can buy a certain number of Instagrows every day. These are really useful for various things across the mode, depending on how you're playing. But again, we'll cover that in a minute. So those are your handyman tools. And the final option you have open to you is crop info. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to show you exactly how the layout of your seeds and what they mean. The main one is the image. That's going to show you the type of produce it's producing. In the bottom left, you're going to have a timer that shows you when the crop will be ready. And in the bottom right is the percentage to upgrade.
Okay, so just need to drop in a little edit here. Remember when I said trying to do things in few takes is a little bit risky because it's hard to remember all the information. I don't use a script. Well, one thing to remember when you're farming is that plant evolution happens before the crop is fully developed, okay? Once the crop is fully developed, it will not evolve anymore. So the roll chance happens before you can pick the crop. As soon as you can pick the crop, that is it. It will not evolve any further. The only thing it can do is overgrowth to give you more value, rewards, XP, that kind of thing. Later on, you'll buy an OG, which is an overgrowth bonus. It works in a very similar way, okay? The top right will show you the overgrowth limit, as in how many times it's overgrown. The middle is the produce, bottom left is time till next overgrow, and the bottom right is percentage of your next overgrowth happening. Okay, so
that's the basic interface. We then beside that have a market stall, and in that market stall we have 3 options: day market, night market, and crop depot. Now the day market is things that you'll be able to buy with the produce that you make. Very, very simple. Okay, you will need various fruits, vegetables, plants, sushis, whatever you're growing to upgrade things, including new plants, whether the growth speed increases, XP buffs, all of that kind of thing. The night garden seems to be more of like the long-term game. So later on in one of the fields, let me just get the right one, with the baby troll map, there's a NPC called Legumeli. Okay, I'm assuming that comes from legume, the type of veg. Is it a veg? Don't know. What you can do there is you can actually trade your produce. So there's an item that you can buy from the World 6 shop called the crop transfer ticket. You can basically hand that to the Legumeli. He will give you beanstalk beans in return. That's the currency used for night market. Now, the ones which I've seen from the night market tend to go off of the number of plants you have at any given time. This means that realistically you want to start focusing on once you've stopped using your plants, selling them, that kind of thing. So the way I'm looking at this is the night garden is going to be more of a long-term end game. Day garden is to try and push your gains to get there quicker. There is one option in the night garden which I highly recommend, which is overgrowth. I spoke about it a minute ago. What this means is when you begin with, you're going to have to check every 2 hours. If you don't, you will end up losing out in long term. Overgrowth means that you can double the crop value and the XP if you leave it an extra cycle. So when you're sleeping, for example, you might leave it inactive for 6 to 8 hours. That could be 3 or 4 OG levels. That's going to double your value all over. Okay, it's a fantastic upgrade. It's the one I would recommend getting, probably straight away from the night market as soon as you can. The other thing to say is to unlock the bonuses in day and night market, you have to unlock new flowers produce from those seeds. Okay, so constantly try and unlock new crops if you can. I've got a little way to do that for you. Crop demo is the final option in there, and what this is going to do is it's just going to list out all of the different crops that you've produced and show you a list of every single one for each seed type. Now, in my tips about World 6, I mentioned the Jade Emporium, and there's a little bonus in the Jade Emporium that you might want to get hold of. It's called the Crop Depot Scientist. Think of this like Slab 2.0. So where Slab gives various bonuses to different skills, Crop Depot does the same. Now, the ones I'm aware of at the moment is that you can get a damage boost depending on how many crops you found. You can get a chance to evolve your gaming plants, which is great because some of those are really hard to evolve. You can get a jade coin boost, mill speed increase, which makes cooking even faster, cash increase, and a pet rate increase. Now, the pet rate increase is a bit strange because at first I thought, why? We've already got most of the new pets. You should be able to get them probably before you get to World 6, because pets aren't that difficult to unlock with all the bonuses on them. However, the thing that this also gives, if I remember rightly, is shiny rate increase, okay, which is a huge bonus. Really, really good for increasing those shiny bonuses. Okay, so I said I had a few tips for you when it comes to Instagrow. There are 2 ways you may want to use this ability if you've bought it. The first one is if you're looking to buy a particular upgrade and you have that crop, you may want to rush it so that you can get more of that crop quicker to buy that upgrade. The idea being is generally, once you've bought an upgrade from the day market, the crop evolves, okay? So you don't need that same crop again, which means you can kind of cycle through the crops to buy the upgrades as they go. The other thing you may want to look to do with it is you may want to try and force evolutions. So if you can just bam, say if you were to plant a new seed, for example, and you want to get as many evolutions out of it as possible, as quickly as possible, you may want to insta-grow pick. And that way you'll get more evolutions quickly, which helps you to unlock more markets. Also gives more bonuses with that scientist blob that I was talking about. Now, one of the things that is going to really, really help you is Biljack Pepper, the food. All right, it's in World 4, but you're going to need some of the new spices to get it. And what this does is it unlocks plant evolution rate. Now, this is a huge buff for farming. Alongside that, if I remember rightly, there's a stamp in World 1. Let me just find it. I believe it's called the Crop Evo stamp. You get it as a reward from the first pig, if I remember rightly. Yeah, Crop Evo stamp. And that comes from, is his name Hoove? Hoove the pig. All right. He's an NPC on the, what map is it? On the rice cake map. So do not sleep on that. Both of those bonuses, when stacked together, will give you huge potential to push through some really, really quick seeds. And again, with that, that's going to buff a load of your account. So I think that's all I've got to say on this skill. Basically, remember to plant your seeds, remember to grow them, and remember to pick them. All right, they are timed, so this is a kind of time-gated skill. You can buy boosters in the premium store. They reset daily, so there is a maximum amount. I think it's 6. But if you've got spare gems, you might want to consider it if you want to rush this skill. It's a very good skill. If you found this content useful in any way, shape or form, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. As always, until next time, you've been amazing. Take care.